We're now live.
Good afternoon. This is Administrative Law Judge James Costello. I just want to make sure that we have our court reporter on the line and ready to go. Mr. McLean?
Yes, Judge Costello, I'm ready, and we are on the record.
Okay, great. I call cases 22E-0064 and 22-G-0065. Proceeding on motion of the Commission as to the rates, charges, rules, and regulations of Consolidated Edison Company of New York, Inc. for electric and gas service. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is James Costello, and I am an Administrative Law Judge for the Department of Public Service. Administrative Law Judge Ashley Moreno is also present, and together we are responsible for presiding over today's public statement hearing. We are joined by Esmond Brown Anderson and Sangeetha Kalis of the Department's Office of Consumer Services, who will be providing us with technical assistance. We're here today for a public statement hearing that was noticed on March 8th, 2023. This hearing is to receive your comments on the joint proposal filed in these proceedings on February 16th, 2023. Under New York State law, the Public Service Commission may adopt or reject the joint proposal in whole or in part, or it may modify it. The Public Service Commission will decide what Con Edison's terms and conditions of service will be. The Public Service Commission has 7 members currently. The chairperson, Rory Christian, and 6 commissioners. The 6 commissioners are Diane Berman, James Alessi, Tracy Edwards, John Howard, David Valesky, and John Majori. What I'm going to do before we start with taking statements is I'm going to explain the process that we're going to be following today. As stated, we're here to provide you with an opportunity to tell the Commission your thoughts on Consolidated Edison's rate proposals. The statements you make today will become part of the case records in these proceedings. We have a court reporter who will be prepare a transcript of this hearing, and the transcript will be included in the official record of these proceedings so that your comments can be considered by the members of the Commission. When the transcript is ready, it will be available for you on the Department of Public Service website. This hearing is not an evidentiary hearing. It's not a question and answer session. It's a forum to hear comments from you. And if you did not pre-register to speak at today's hearing, but you would like your views included in the record, there are a variety of other ways to comment that were listed in the public notice for today's event. You can also, if you are participating electronically, see these different ways to comment appearing on your screen. So you can submit comments by submitting them on the department's website, by email, by regular mail, or by telephone. and regardless of how those comments are submitted, they will be given equal consideration by the Commission. Comments may be submitted and will be considered throughout the pendency of these proceedings. If you have registered to make a statement, we ask that you please summarize lengthy written statements orally and submit the full written statement by email or mail. There are people who registered today and are participating electronically, and there are people who registered and are participating by telephone. In either case, you should only have one audio input from one device. Otherwise, we may experience feedback problems when you're speaking. I will be calling the persons that have pre-registered one by one to speak, and if someone is not available when I call them, I will continue with the next person and will come back to those people who are not available at the end. For telephone participants, when I call out your name, I will ask that you hit *3 on your telephone so that we can recognize you and unmute your line. It may take a little while for us to locate you and unmute your line, so please make sure to wait until you hear either a beep or you're notified that your line has been unmuted before you start speaking. If you have muted your own line, telephone line, you will also have to unmute your line on your end. For the people that registered electronically, after I call your name, we will unmute your line. You should hear a tone and see that the microphone icon on next to your name is no longer red. Please be reminded, if you put your own telephone line on mute and you're participating electronically but with a telephone line, you will also have to unmute your line before you begin to speak. We are going to start by calling on the members of the public who have registered to speak, and then we will move to individuals who have registered to speak that are parties to the proceedings. As parties, they have greater privileges and opportunities to build a record in these proceedings. Consequently, we ask that you summarize any lengthy comments and submit them in writing. Please speak slowly and clearly so that the court reporter can accurately capture your statements for the record. When your line is unmuted, please state your name, and if you're speaking on behalf of an organization, the name of the organization. And once we confirm that we can hear you, you can proceed to make your comments. So with that, we're going to proceed with our first speaker, who will be Assembly Member Chris Burdick. If Assembly Member Burdick is participating by telephone, I ask that you please hit *3 so that we can unmute your line. I'm not seeing anyone. Okay, I will go back at the end to Assemblymember Burdick. So then I'm going to go on to Susan Suarez.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I saw a raised hand.
Okay.
It's the last, it's 9, it's calling user number 8.
Let's see, 7, 8. All right, I have to fix my screen. Let's unmute caller user number 8. Can you unmute caller user 8, please?
Your line is unmuted, calling user number 8.
Assemblymember Burdick?
Number 8, I don't know.
Is this Assemblymember Burdick?
No, this is Thomas Sancho, a customer.
Okay, you have your hand raised. Could you please hit *3
I'm
to
sorry.
unraise your hand? That's okay. And we'll put you back on mute. And we'll go to Susan Suarez. And if you are participating by telephone, please hit *3 so that we can recognize you and unmute your line. I'm going to move to the next registered speaker, who is Yen Chow. Again, if you are participating by telephone, please hit *3. Okay, not seeing anyone. I'm going to move on to people that have registered to speak they registered to speak through electronic means. Thomas Hancho.
Yes,
Okay, is that caller 8?
I am Thomas Ancho.
Okay, Mr. Hancho, we can hear you. You can give your statement.
I'm disabled, and just to think about the 20% increase that might be installed is incredibly crazy. We're already paying the highest rates in the country. Why another 20%?
Are you finished with your statement, Mr. Hancho?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Okay, can you please hit star 3, and I thank you for participating. Okay, we're going to go on to the next speaker, Benjamin Sloan. And if you're participating by telephone, please hit star 3. All right, I'm not seeing anyone. We'll go on to the next person, Ray Shinnick. No, I'm not seeing any hands raised. Carmen Caridi. Again, not seeing any hands raised. The next registered speaker is Rajwinder Sharma. If you're calling in, please hit star 3. Not seeing anyone. Assemblymember Zoran Mamdani. Now we're going on to the parties who have registered to speak. Please unmute Assemblymember Mamdani's line. Please unmute Assemblymember Mamdani's line.
Your line is unmuted.
I'm so sorry. This is Emily from Assemblymember Mamdani's office. Can you call on him again in about 10 minutes?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Andrew Saavedra. And if you're calling in, please hit star 3. Okay, that was Andrew Saavedra on behalf of Pulp. No, not seeing anyone. And we'll go to James O'Neill on behalf of AARP New York. Mr. O'Neill, if you're participating by telephone, please hit star 3.
I'm here, but I can't. Oh, I'm unmuted now?
You're unmuted.
Okay.
We
Good
can hear you.
afternoon. My name is James O'Neill, and I'm the volunteer state president of AARP New York, as well as a Con Ed customer. On behalf of nearly 800,000 AARP members in the Con Edison service territory like me, I appreciate this opportunity to comment on the joint proposal in the Con Edison gas and electric rate cases. Exactly 1 year ago today, I joined a similar public statement hearing to outline a few core problems with the original rate hike proposals in this case. Unfortunately, those same problems are still present in the joint proposal that has been offered by department staff and the company. Specifically, number 1, the size of the increase is still far too large. 2, fixed customer charges that are already too high should not be increased further as proposed here. And 3, federal infrastructure dollars should be used instead of ratepayer dollars wherever available. On the first point, that this increase is too large, Con Ed's originally request for increased charges of $1.7 billion is almost 3 times the size of Con Ed's $695 million 2019 request and $636 million in 2016 request. And now this joint proposal would authorize an additional $3.9 billion to be collected from ratepayers over the term of this agreement, including a revenue increase of $1.8 billion annually by 2025, an annual increase that is even higher than the one-year increase originally requested by the company. This rate increase is far too high for customers to absorb. To make matters worse, while this increase is billed as a 3-year implementation timetable, the reality is that customers will feel the full brunt of this in barely over half that time. Rate increases go into effect on the first day of each new rate year. In this case, that means increases will hit consumers in 19 or 20 months from the time the commission approves of the JP, likely May or June, to the time of the final increase scheduled for January 1st, 2025. To the second point, the monthly customer charge for both electric and natural gas service is already too high and should not be increased. But once again, we see increases in fixed customer charges being advanced in this joint proposal. High customer charges make it difficult for ratepayers to manage their energy bills and, contrary to state policy, discourage rather than encourage energy conservation. Lastly, federal infrastructure dollars should be used instead of ratepayer dollars for the proposed spending in all instances for which such funds are available. The Commission should insist that the utility seeks to leverage all available funds and only seek to charge ratepayers for spending after those avenues are exhausted. This proposal does the opposite, charging ratepayers first and only offering a credit back later if the company happens to secure funds. Beyond expressing a general intent to pursue federal funds, the agreement is scant and on details about what funds are being pursued by the company and devoid of any assurances that the company will pursue all available federal funds while charging customers upfront and offering a general IOU to make them whole later. This is unacceptable. For these reasons, we express our strong opposition to the joint proposal. Thank you again for the opportunity to offer a comment today.
Thank you, Mr. O'Neill.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to start at the top of the list again, and Assembly Member Burdick looks like is participating electronically. Just give us a moment to unmute your line. Okay, please ask that Mr. Christopher, Member Burdick's line be unmuted. He is the person that shows up immediately after the call-in users.
I'm sorry.
I think you keep
Is that
unmuting me.
Heather Lacker?
I'm his chief of staff, but he's on here himself, and he's called Chris Burdick.
Okay, awesome. And that's Heather Lackett, right?
Yeah, I'm Heather Lackey. I'm his chief of staff, but he
Okay,
is on here as well.
Okay, you can go ahead.
He's
No, he's going to testify. I'm not.
Mr.
I
Christopher
understand.
Burdick is he's immediately after the call-in users. He's listed immediately after the call-in users.
Okay, I see. Your line is muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm Assemblymember Chris Burdick, and I first wish to thank the Commission for allowing me the opportunity to present testimony on behalf of the ratepayers in my district. I represent the 93rd Assembly District in Westchester County. It comprises Bedford, Harrison, Lewisboro, Mount Kisco, Newcastle, North Castle, North Salem, Pound Ridge, and about half of White Plains. I'm here to testify in strong opposition to Con Edison's rate filing, which provides power to over half my district. While Westchester's population is perceived to be highly affluent, my district also has a significant population of low earners, seniors on fixed income, and homeowners struggling to meet their basic needs. 18% of households earn under $50,000, and 36% earn under $100,000. 71% of housing in my district is owner occupied, and 63% of residents in my district have housing costs over $2,000 per month. As such, hikes to gas and electricity rates hit hard. I have received countless emails, phone calls, and survey responses pleading for help in putting a lid on the skyrocketing bills. These bills truly jeopardize their ability to remain in their homes. They cite the need to set aside a significantly increased percentage of their monthly budget to pay their utility bills, impacting their ability to pay for other crucial expenses, such as rent, mortgages, food, and transportation. This winter, thousands of my constituents were devastated by the increases in their Con Ed bills, some of them by 100% or more. They're forced to make a choice between putting food on the table or paying their utility bill. They also cite frequent and difficult to correct erroneous bills, frequent loss of service, and the unfairness of the company's disconnection procedures. Granting the rate filing again by $6 a month for electricity and $14 a month for gas after previous increases is unjust and unmerited. It is insufficient and disingenuous to respond that New York has been providing financial assistance to those who are in arrears or that ratepayers can choose budget payments. It is insufficient and disingenuous to assert that Con Edison is statutorily guaranteed a minimum rate of return. It is insufficient and disingenuous to state that Con Edison makes little to no profit on electricity supply. It is insufficient and disingenuous to assert that Con Edison is subject to global energy prices over which they have no control other than hedges. Con Edison ratepayers are entitled to an answer that is responsive to their plight and are entitled to relief. I urge the Commission to deny Con Edison's petition and to require Con Edison to formulate a system to reduce volatility in utility bills, such as fixed kilowatt-hour rates for a specified period of time, and that the Commission issue reasonable regulatory revisions to enable Con Edison to do so. Thank you very much for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to try again. Susan Suarez, if you are calling in, please hit *3 so we can recognize you and unmute your line. Yen Chow. And if you're participating by telephone, please hit *3. Benjamin Sloan.
call. My line has been unmuted.
Ray Shinnick. If you're participating by telephone, please hit *3. Carmen Caridi. Rajwinda Sharma. And if you're participating by telephone, hit *3. Okay, Assembly Member Zoran Mandani. And please unmute the line. He's the last person listed.
Hi, I'm so sorry. The assembly member is still stuck in a meeting. Can you call me again in 10 minutes? But I do want to flag Teresa from the Public Utility Law Project. I think you might have missed her. I think she has her hand raised. If you're able to circle back for her, I believe she's filling in for Andrew Saavedra. Thank you.
And I just want to say, I don't know that we're going to be here for 10 more minutes, but let's, if we are, that's fine. So let me see. Teresa Hoti. And she's participating electronically. Looks like your line has been unmuted.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. As Assemblymember Mandani's office mentioned, I'm filling in for my colleague, Andrew Saavedra. My name for the record is Teresa Hoti, T-H-E-R-E-S-A-H-O-T-T-E. Thank you to Judges Moreno and Costello for holding today's public statement hearing. We appreciate the opportunity to testify today regarding Con Edison's electric and gas rate cases 22E0064 and 22G0065. My name is Teresa Hoti, and I'm the Litigation and Policy Counsel for the Public Utility Law Project of New York, or PULP. Today, our organization will file its statement in opposition to Con Edison's proposed rate increase, and we urge the Commission to reject the joint proposal. There are several aspects of the JP that our organization takes issue with, including a lack of transparency surrounding application for federal funds to offset costs borne by ratepayers, inadequate commitments to provide relief to disadvantaged communities, and others. As we cannot fully address them all in the span of 3 minutes, my comments today focus solely on the company's lack of commitment to assist its low-income customers. To begin, Con Edison, like all other major gas and electric utilities in New York, maintains an energy affordability program that is meant to make energy costs more affordable for its low-income customers. However, Con Edison's EAP program has and continues to suffer from under-enrollment. As of December 2022, over 440,000 low-income households in Con Edison's service territory were not enrolled in the company's EAP program despite being qualified. That's over 440,000 families already dealing with high costs of food, housing, and transportation, who are paying more money to Con Edison every month than they otherwise should. PULP believes that the company's proposed efforts relating to its EAP program, as laid out in the joint proposal, are inadequate. The joint proposal will allow Con Edison to enact double-digit rate increases, but there's no equal effort to offer specific, targeted assistance and outreach to low-income customers who will be most affected by these increases. The company could have pledged to target those customers who likely qualify for EAP, but for whatever reason are not enrolled, like customers who have entered into deferred payment agreements or customers who have indicated to the company that they're having trouble paying their bills. Absent this type of additional targeted outreach to match the increased profits that the company is set to receive, this joint proposal is not in the public interest. For these and other reasons, PULP urges the Commission to reject the terms of the joint proposal. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Before we return again to Assemblymember Mamdani, I'm going to open it up to see if there are people who have not registered but would like to make a statement. If you are participating by telephone, you would do that. Let us know that you want to speak by hitting *3. If you are participating electronically, you should press the raise hand function at the bottom of your screen, and we'll go through and take statements from people if there's anyone else that wants to make a statement.
Hello?
Hello,
Calling
yes.
user number 5 is muted, unmuted.
Yes, hello. My name is Susan Suarez. Am I able to speak? Can
You
everybody
are,
hear me?
yes. Please, we can hear
Okay,
you,
great.
and you can make your statement.
Okay, please bear with me. I am blind. Okay, various companies and individuals have signed in for this proposal without disclosing what are their benefits, including one of the politicians who has a sole interest in raising the benefits here. I wasn't given notice of this public hearing. It was by chance that someone that was assisting me found this public hearing. Also, I believe that it's fraudulent if, in a conflict of interest to the public, if this politician has a business and an interest to make a profit. And also, the city of New York and Metropolitan Transportation Authority are signing to raise the rates for New Yorkers. And it's very difficult, especially, and I believe that it has a connection with trying to eliminate the gas in either national or New York State. I have been without gas for 11 months. And pretty much I targeted the landlord with every law possible, okay? And no one has helped me in this. And I've contacted every organization. So I do believe that everything is connected with this, that they're trying to eliminate the gas. If we have another Sandy storm, pretty much we'll be at the mercy of the politicians or whoever, non-for-profit organizations, where we wouldn't be able to cook, or either we will be dependent if everything is electrical, and that's why the rates are going up. So I truly believe that everything is connected. One more thing, there should be provisions for handicapped people like myself to opt out of having a smart meter, since it does pose a lot of side effects, and it would have adverse reactions to me specifically because I am blind, and without being penalized by Con Edison. So that's where I am right now, trying to resolve this problem in order to obtain gas, because it is a natural resource. And I do not feel that all these companies like Walmart should be increasing these rates, especially if it's not helping a lot of low-income houses. That's it pretty much. I think I've said it all.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to go back to Assemblymember Rondani. Can you please unmute that line? I think you've been unmuted.
Thank you. Sorry, can you, the assembly member is actually on the line as call-in user 16, starts with 917691. If you could unmute him, please. Thank you.
Caller user 16, certainly.
Thank you very much for the assistance in unmuting. This is Assembly Member Zohran Mamdani. I am testifying today in opposition to this proposal that has been put forward by the PSC and Con Edison. And the basis of my opposition is, to put it simply, that this will be unaffordable for Con Edison customers. If approved, total electric bill increases are looking at 12.5%, and total gas bill increases are looking at 20.2%. And right now, I represent the neighborhoods of Astoria and Long Island City, and in my office, 1/4 of all constituent casework that we do is for constituents who are dealing with the already unaffordable Con Ed bills. What this proposal would do is add an additional $3.9 billion to the bills of constituents like mine, as well as those all across New York City who are already in this moment reeling from the unaffordable nature of our electric grid and our gas grid. And what I am concerned about in addition to this is the fact that the joint proposal does not offer any additional resources to mitigate these high bill impacts that are faced by these low and fixed income customers, nor does it adequately consider the effect rate increases will have on households in disadvantaged communities. You know, I would like to just spell out some of the dollar amounts that we're talking about here. and I'm going to use the Public Utility Law Project's estimates of these bill impacts. We're looking at a $17 per month increase for electric customers. We're looking at a $108 increase for gas heating customers. We're looking at a $6 increase for gas non-heating customers. And this will have an immensely negative impact on the people of Astoria and Long Island City, people who are already being forced to make impossible choices between medication and gas, between going to the grocery store and paying their electric bill. And I'd like to just end my testimony urging the rejection of this proposal by quoting from a constituent of mine, Samantha Rhodes. This is testimony that she provided a few months ago to our office. My husband and I have lived in the same fifth-story walk-up, one-bedroom in Astoria for the last 8 years. We are part of having to pay the Con Ed monopoly these 8 years. We paid our bill every month, even during the pandemic when neither of us could work. Our past bill came back at $1,219.25. After hours on the phone with Con Ed on my husband's birthday, we were able to figure out that this may be attributable to a smart meter installed, backdating estimated months ago. We still don't have an answer on why we have such a significant bill, and we haven't been able to pay. With that, I'm not here just for my story, but to say that the transparency from Con Ed is really lacking. And the timing of this, when they're saying this is several months of back charges, is fishy given as we are now in winter and it's a gas bill, and my only gas is stove and oven. It is really challenging to find a new rate when the rates are already high. So I'm here today with the community asking the PSC to demand transparency from Con Ed to lower the rates and not to allow the opposite. With that, thank you very much for the time. I am vehemently in opposition to this, and I appreciate the consideration.
Thank you. We're going to go on to call-in user number 12.
Me?
Your line has been unmuted.
I already spoke. Can you hear me?
This is Ms. Suarez.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that it was clear that I'm in opposition of this increase.
Okay. We'll make sure that will be captured in the record. Thank you. Can I ask you also to hit *3 again, just so you lower your hand? And if Assemblymember Mamdani is still on the line, please hit *3 or use the lower hand function if you're electronically. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to call-in user 5. Your line has not yet. Let's call in user 5. Your line has been unmuted. You may make a statement. Hello? No. Okay, we're going to go to Leandro Taveras. Just bear with us while we unmute your line. Please unmute Leandro Taveras and remute call-in user 5.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, please state your name and you can make your statement for the record.
Hello, my name is Leandro Taveras and I'm a property owner and landlord in Brooklyn, New York, calling in opposition to the rate increase. I currently rent out a room in my house to someone that's a full-time child caretaker, and I believe that the proposed rate increase would prove disingenuous and inaffordable to both her and other people in her position. As we've heard from prior testimony, Con Ed has proven that they have a lack of transparency and a lack of accountability with regards to their rate increases and how they handle the stewardship of the money that they receive. I believe that we should vote down this rate increase and demand increased accountability and affordability for the residents of the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go close the hearing, I just want to give the opportunity to people that are participating that have not made a statement and would like to make a statement to do so. And again, if you're calling in, you can hit *3. And if you are an electronic user, you would use your raise hand function. Okay, I'm not seeing anyone else indicating that they wish to make a statement. So with that, I'm going to remind you that you may submit public comments, and the public comments can be submitted throughout these proceedings by the other means that were described earlier and that are contained in the notice of public statement hearing that was issued on March 8th, 2023, and the comments are requested to be filed by April 14th, but they will also, we will accept comments until the case is decided by the Commission. We will be holding additional public statement hearings this evening, starting at 5 p.m. and tomorrow, March 30th at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And with that, Judge Moreno and I want to thank the commenters for their participation. And we also would like to thank Esmond Brown Anderson and Sagitha Kalis from our Consumer Services Office for administering the session, and our court reporter. With that, our hearing is concluded, and we are going off the record.